My name is Marian. I was actually injured by a provider at the left rib clavicle area. 2 years ago, I started getting paresthesias or numbness down my hands. Started on the left side and now progressively is like on the right side. And then on top of the upper body stuff, just tightness. I'm not proud to say I've probably spent over $30,000 over the last 9 years. I've done everything. I've seen chiropractors, people that cup, rolfers, massage therapists, seen acupuncturists. Short of like a steroid injection or actual surgery, I think I've seen pretty much like everyone. I live in California, so I traveled all the way from sunny San Diego to come over here to see Dr. Chris. The easiest money that I've ever spent.
Marian had a rib adjustment about 9 years ago, and she said that's when all of her symptoms started. She has numbness and tingling, both hands, front and back. Some of the fingers are worse than others. And then she had chronic tightness on the left side of her neck, which when she finally flew out here, we realized it's on the right side of her neck as well. And then she also gets suboccipital headaches that wrap around to her temples.
I have since been diagnosed with Thoracic Outlet Syndrome, which is kind of a very catch-all diagnosis. And it's kind of one of those things, like if the doctors don't know what it is, they'll like throw you into the TOS category, which is very frustrating for TOS patients. In January, I was at my ends with it and I was really going through a dark time and was feeling like there was nothing left I could do. It was like, this is it, this is my life.
She's a great example of somebody who has enormous amounts of nerve entrapments, primarily at the nerve roots at her scalene, around the nerve roots going down the side of the neck, a little bit in the CT area, in the armpit where the nerves come through, and then down to the finger nerves, especially we did a little bit of the ulnar nerve and the radial nerve on the back side.
I actually came across a testimonial video of Dr. Chris, and then I stalked him on Instagram. He was offering me lasting relief, which is something that was so, and still, and is foreign to me. I had to quit my work as a surgical physician assistant because the pain was so debilitating. Like, I'm an active person, or at least I was. I used to dance. My level of activity started to decline. So running, I can't do anymore. Any sort of like fast movement is really challenging for me. Relationship-wise, that people don't talk about that enough, but they'll say, why are you single? People don't understand, like, pain is so debilitating and it takes up so much of your mental space that like the idea of worrying about another person, catering to their needs, like being in a relationship, I felt like I would be a burden. Like I feel bad for the person that I get into a relationship with because I understand it's not easy. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, my pain definitely touched 10. So I really only had 2 weeks with Dr. Chris and I really only saw him for 6 days and 12 visits in a span of 2 weeks. And my pain, I would probably say, has definitely been cut in half.
Over those 6 treatments, she's about 55% better. She's a great example of somebody who they think that they have suboccipital problems, but because their discs are degenerated and overloaded down low, she doesn't have the ability to bring her skull backwards. So when she does, the disc down low gets overloaded, and what happens up high in the suboccipitals is they become protectively tight, and then she gets those suboccipital headaches in and around her temples. So we freed up some of that disc stuff down low, and then her suboccipital headaches have been largely gone away while she's here over the past 2 weeks. And then we'll see what happens when she goes back to California and how much of the relief lasts. She seemed pretty happy with the relief that she had.
I'm looking forward to dancing again because I do feel more energized. I feel like hopeful for the future that things are gonna continue to get better. In general, I think everything is looking up, which I'm happy about.